So, parallel lines and perpendicular lines. I am recording this class because I forgot to record last class. So please watch what you say. Okay.
I wish you would have put the middle lines and numbers in.
What?
I wish there was middle lines and numbers and I got to throw my own.
Okay. I don't know what you mean, but alright. So the slope of that first line, what's it going to be?
2 over 1.
2 over 1. 2 over 1, or just 2. What's the b value? 4. And then it's 2 and negative 3. So go ahead and graph those lines on your graph.
Sorry, let me draw my x and y axis first.
Yeah, you need to draw your x and y axis. For some reason that didn't make it on there. Okay, so I'm going to make this graph. Mine's a little bit better than yours. So I just had to put it in there. Okay, first line, 2x plus 4. My b value you said was 4, so that's the first thing I'm going to plot. My slope is 2 over 1, so I'm going to go what direction?
Up 2 and right 1.
Up 2 and right 1. I could also go?
Down 2 to the left 1.
Yep, down 2 and left 1. And this line's going to look like this. Next one, what'd you say the b value was? Negative 3. Slope is 2, or same thing as 2 over 1. So I'm going to do the exact same thing here, up 2 over 1, right? Yeah. And those are my parallel lines. We all see them. We got them down. Good. What is the relationship between those two lines? Their slopes are the same, okay? So the relationship is that they're parallel. The relationship between the slopes is that they're the exact same slopes. Got that? Good deal. Okay, example 1. Instead of giving us graphs, it's just going to give us the equation. It wants to know if these are parallel to each other. So what do you think we'll be looking at in the equation to see if what is the same? The slopes are the same, right? Okay, so looking at the first equation, we've got y equals 3x plus 4. What's the slope of that? 3. 3 over 1, good. Looking at the next one, can I tell what the slope is just by looking at that equation? No, I gotta solve for what? Y equals mx plus b. Good. So I need to get y by itself. How do I do that? Add 6x. So 2y equals 6x plus 8. Well, hold on. What do you got to do now? Divide by 2. So y equals 6x divided by 2? 3x plus what? 4. Okay. What's the slope of that line? 3, or 3 over 1. Are those the same? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Go ahead and try the next one.
They're the same line.
What?
They're the same line. Yeah.
They are the same line, but that's not always going to happen. That was just a typo.
They're not parallel because they're on top of each other.
What? This one should say 3x plus 5. Just change it. Change the first one to 3x plus 5. What? It's just a typo. Come on, go with it. You are right, though. They were the same line. No.
Should be no solution. Yeah.
Come on. Letter B. Okay. Looking at both these equations, can I tell the slope just by looking at them? No. What do I need to do? Solve for what? Y. So on the first one, how do I get y by itself? Subtract 4x. So 2y equals?
Negative 4x plus 20.
Perfect. Negative 4x plus 20. And now what?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. Good job, Landon. Y equals? Negative 2x plus 10. Okay. What's the slope of that? Negative 2 over 1. What about the next one?
Subtract 8.
Subtract the 8x. So you get negative 2y equals,
Negative 8x minus 20.
perfect. Now what?
Divided by negative 2.
Divide by negative 2 on everything. Y equals,
4x plus 10.
good, 4x plus 10. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. Good, good, good. So the slope on this one is 4 over 1. Are those the same?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
No, not the same. So your answer is no. These are not parallel lines.
I think the concert made Landon a little smarter.
Say what? That was in the video. I'll have to go back and watch it. Okay. Writing equations of parallel lines. So, this is something that will be on the test. So make sure we're paying attention. We write down these steps. So, it says, write an equation for the line that is parallel to y equals negative 3x plus 4 and passes through the point 1, 2. Okay? So, the first thing I want to do is I just want to keep my slope the same. Okay? Because it's a parallel line, right? So we know it's going to have the same slope. So I'm just going to write here that we want to keep the slope. The next step is to plug in the point for x and y to solve for b. Plug in the point for x and y to solve for b. Okay, so here's how this looks. So I'm going to have y equals, to keep the same slope from this line, what's my slope going to be? Negative 3 over 1, or just negative 3x. I don't know what b is, so I'm just going to write plus b. So that's what I have so far. But I do need to find b. So to do that, I'm just going to plug in my point. Well, this is the point 1, 2, right? And coordinate points are just x and y. So I'm going to plug in the 2 for y, plug in the 1 for x, and solve for b. So what's negative 3 times 1? Negative 3. And how do I get b by itself? Yep, add 3 to the 2. So what's b equal? 5. The only thing left to do. So I've got my equation and I just found b. So I just need to put in that 5 for b. So y equals negative 3x plus 5. You with me? Okay. Not too bad, right? What? It will be on your homework, yep. Same thing here. So parallel to this equation passes through that point. I want you to go ahead and try this. Okay. So my current equation is y equals negative 2x plus 10. If I'm doing a parallel, finding a parallel line, what's my new slope going to be? It's going to be the same slope. So it's still going to be negative 2x. Do I know what b is?
No.
Not yet. But to find b, what do I need to do? Plug in the point. So we got x, y. So what's going to be y?
4.
4 is going to equal?
Negative 2 minus negative 2.
Perfect. Plus b. And now we solve for b. Negative 2 times negative 2?
Negative 4.
Positive 4. So 4 plus b equals 4. Minus the 4. What's 4 minus 0? 4 minus 4? 0. I gave it away. So b is 0. So I found b. So all I've got to do is plug it in to what I just had here. So y equals negative 2x plus 0. Do I even need to write plus 0? No, I don't. I could. I wouldn't count it wrong, but don't really need to write it. Plus 0. Okay. Letter B. Same kind of thing, but what's different about this equation? Perfect. I gotta get it into y equals mx plus b because I can't look at that and tell what my slope is. Okay? So I'm gonna solve that for y equals mx plus b. 3x minus 4y equals 8. How do I solve for y? Minus the 3x. So I get negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 8. Now what? Divide by negative 4 to everything. So this equation now just becomes y equals negative 3 over negative 4. Just becomes 3 over 4 x. And 8 divided by negative 4. Negative 2. Okay, make sure you got that down. So this equation equals this. Y equals 3/4 x minus 2. That is our new equation. Now what do I do? Yep. So I know that my new equation, my slope will be 3/4 x plus b. And so we're going to plug in 4 equals 3/4 times plus b. What is 3/4 times negative 12? Nope. Negative 9. You can type that in your calculator just by hitting 3 ABC 4 times negative 12. It'll give you that. So that's what I got now. What's b going to be?
13.
Yep, so if I add the 9 over, b equals 13. My final step. Bring it all home. Bring it all together. What is it?
Y equals 3/4 x plus 13.
Perfect. That is my equation. Okay. The next one, real quick, this is a typo. Please change this point to 8-3. 8-3. You said you already know it, Bo? Okay.
I just have to feel about that. I don't know how to type it on.
You knew it had a typo in it?
I have to.
Okay. The line that is parallel to the following equation, x equals 9. What kind of line is that? Yeah, it's a vertical line, right? It's a VUX, which stands for vertical, undefined slope, and x equals.
So do we just put undefined?
Well, can I have like a line parallel to
Yes.
a vertical
X
line?
equals anything besides 9.
Yeah, x equals anything besides 9. So, but I know it's going to go through this point right here, 8-3. So what's the x value on 8-3? 8. So doesn't it need to go through 8 to go through that point? That would be the only thing that would work. Okay. And one thing you can do if that is a little bit confusing to you is to graph it. Okay, so just go ahead and find the line where x equals 9, which would be right here. And then go plot that point 8-3. And then think, what's a vertical line that's going to be parallel to my line? And it's got to be right here. Okay, on your own, graph the next two equations. You can do it. What's the slope on the first one? 3. What's the b value?
7.
7. The next one, slope is negative 1/3, and the b value, 3. Graph them. All right, graph these. Where's the b value on the first one? 7. So it's going to be on the x or y axis? Y. And 3/1 or down 3 left 1, right? Looks like this. Next line, b value, 3. Slope, down 1 and right 3, good. Or up 1 and left 3. So, do we see what these lines look like? Perpendicular. Let's write it. So the relationship between the two lines is perpendicular, which basically just means that they intersect at a cross, okay? Or like a plus sign. Okay, what is the relationship between the slopes?
They're flipped.
They're flipped, okay? So flip the numerator and denominator. Anything else you notice?
Sign.
And change the sign. So one will be negative, one will be positive.
Wait,
Why?
Yeah.
Because that's what gets them to intersect.
Oh, I thought we just put same and different.
I mean, it is going to be different, but we just have to tell how it's going to be different. If it's the same, we don't have to tell why. So, number 1 here. Given the following equations, determine if the lines are perpendicular to each other. So same kind of thing as what we did with the parallel lines, except for now, we're looking to see if they're perpendicular. So, the first one, can I tell what the slope is just by looking at that line? Yeah, it's 1/3. What about the next one?
No.
No, what do I need to do? Subtract x, so I get 3y equals negative x plus 8. Now what? Divide by 3, so it's y equal negative 1/3 what?
X.
Plus 8/3.
Yeah.
What's the slope? M equals negative 1/3. Are those perpendicular? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
What was our first part? It had to have flipped the numerator and denominator. So one of these needs to be a 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And neither of them are. So this is going to be a no. They did have opposite signs though, so that was good. Okay, it had one thing going for it, but didn't have both. It's got to have both. Okay, next one. Go ahead and just put those into y equals mx plus b, and then we'll go from there. What do we do here?
Subtract 4x.
Subtract 4x, 2y equals.
Negative 4x plus 1.
Now what?
Divide by 2.
Good. And y equals.
Negative 2x plus 10.
Perfect. What's the slope of that?
Negative 2.
Good.
Negative 2 over 1.
Or negative 2 over 1. Perfect. Next one.
Subtract 1.
Subtract the x.
Oh my god.
Negative 2y equals negative x minus 20. Now what?
Divide by negative 2.
Divide by negative 2. Y equals.
Negative 1/2 x plus 10.
Careful. What's a negative over a negative do?
Oh, so
Positive 1/2 x. And then negative 20 divided by negative 2. Plus 10. What's the slope on that?
1/2.
Are these perpendicular? Yes, why? Flipped and a negative and a positive. Good. So write the word yes. Y-E-S. What'd you say, Bill? Chase is at a dentist appointment? Okay, well, hopefully he watches this video. Everybody say hi.
Hi,
Hey, Chase. Okay.
Chase.
All right, it's recording again. Writing equations of lines that are perpendicular. Example 1. Write an equation for the line perpendicular to y minus 3x plus 4 and passes through the point 3, 2. Yeah, we're going to do something similar, okay? Except for, are we going to keep the same slope? No, we're not. What do we need to do to the slope? Yes. Flip. So hold on. Change the slope by flipping numerator and denominator. I'm just going to abbreviate denom. And doing what? And change the sign. Thank you, Ryan.
Step 2. Let's go.
Step 2. Plug in the point to find B. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Change my slope. What's my new slope going to be? If it's negative
1/3 positive.
1/3 positive, so 1/3 x.
Isn't it 1/2 x?
We're on example 1.
We're doing an example, Chase.
It's the same.
Well,
Okay.
Do my own on Monday.
We don't know B yet, so we're going to put plus B. What's my point?
B.
No, my point.
3, 2.
3, 2. So I'm going to plug in 2. You got it, Ryan. 2 equals 1/3 times what? 3 plus B. 1/3 times 3.
3, 1.
1. Solve for B. What is it? No.
Equals 1.
B equals 1. Subtract this 1 over. 2 minus 1 is 1. B equals 1. Thank you. Y equals 1/3 x plus 1. Perpendicular through the following equation. What's my slope going to be? It is -2, but what's it going to be? For perpendicular. Positive 1/2, right? Guys, I need the side chatter to stop. Okay. We've got our slope now. So y equals 1/2 x plus b. We don't know b yet. We need to do something to find b. What is it? Plug in what? Yep. Yep, so 4 equals plus b. What is 1/2 times -2? -1. And how do I get b by itself? So b is, so my equation is y equals
1/2 x plus 5.
perfect. Next one, perpendicular to the following equation. How do I do that?
Subtract 3x.
Subtract the 3x. -4y equals
3x plus 8.
-3x plus 8.
I have that wrote down.
Okay, and then
Divide by -4.
divide by -4.
Y equals 3/4 minus 2.
3/4 x minus 2. Good. So the slope is
3/4.
3/4, but I need a slope that's perpendicular to that.
So 4/3
-4/3 is going to be my slope. So y equals
-4/3 times -12.
oh, not yet. No, -4/3 x plus b. Good. Now, Nathan, what were you saying?
4 equals -4/3 times -12 plus b.
Perfect. And -4/3 times -12. Put that in the calculator. -4 ABC3 times -12. what is it? 16. So 4 equals 16 plus b. How do I get b by itself? Subtract 16. 4 minus 16 is
Negative 12.
negative 12. So my equation,
Is negative, or y equals negative 4 thirds minus 12.
perfect. Y equals negative 4 thirds x minus 12. We got another bucks. Skipping ahead. Good deal. It is x equals 9. I want a line that's perpendicular to a vertical line. What's that going to be? What'd you say, Brian? Yeah. So this one's going to be an undefined slope. Okay, so to find the opposite of that, so if my line looks like this, and I want a line that's going to cross it,
Negative 3.
what's the opposite of a vertical line? What's going to make horizontal line? What? Okay, I didn't hear you. So what is the equation of a horizontal line?
Y equals.
Y equals, right? It's the opposite of x equals.
Y equals 9.
So it's going to be y equals 9. Why was it y equals 9? Oh, wait, hold on. Not y equals 9. What's your y here? 3. Y equals 3. Y equals 3. Questions on that? Last question for today. We're going to skip the very last one, but we still got to talk about this one. If I gave you two lines on a graph, how would I tell if they're perpendicular or not? What do you got to find? Not if they cross, because it has to be... You got to find the slope. Good, Ryan. Let's find the slope of these two lines. The first one.
Is negative 5 or 5.
Okay, they're not the same, I can tell you that.
Can we do this one right here? So down 1, over 1. So the slope would be, what's negative 1 over 1? Negative 1. And then the next one, any 2 points, right? So I could do up 3 over 1, right? Do we all see that? So that would be 3. Are 3 and negative 1 the same thing?
No.
So is this perpendicular?
No.
Or not the same thing, but are they inverses of each other? So no. One of them would need to be, so if this was going to have a perpendicular, the other slope would need to be what? Negative 1/3, right? And then if this one had a perpendicular, it would need to be a positive 1 over 1. With me? You're zoning out on me? Okay, we're done.